now, I believe. So yes, we are recording. And you know what? I'm gonna throw my screen on too. Let's see. While I'm here, let's see. Start video. Everyone should be able to see me. So cool. All right, we'll just go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone for showing up. So tonight is going to be about how to set up and use C2 Empire and StarKiller. So if you're new to this, this is well, we'll just jump right into it. So a little bit about me. My name is Josh Jenkins. I'm an information security consultant. I work for a company up in Boston called Greyvoc, and if you want to get in contact with me, I'm on Twitter, GitHub, and just general internet. So, but yeah, so let's just jump right into the meat and potatoes of it, as they say. So come on, there we go. So what is Empire and what is StarKiller? So pretty self-explanatory. Empire is post-exploitation framework for Python, Linux, and whatnot. So it allows you to exploit a variety of different OSs, just depending on what your objective is and what you're trying to get at and what your base machine is. And StarKiller is the front end of it. So a lot of a lot of Star Wars related interest bits there. This is currently, for the longest time, it wasn't. It was just kind of open source. I forget exactly who was the original maintainer of it, but as of late, it's been BC Security, and they currently update it and send out all the new updates via GitHub, and provide training for it as well. Excuse me. So what kind of uses do we have for OWASP? And if you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. I can slow down, stop, and go back if you need anything. So I like to just roll through stuff as efficiently as possible. So if any questions, just let me know. So for purposes here, what are some of the uses for StarKiller and or Empire and StarKiller? Because I mean, you can use. So I will say that you can use Empire completely independent of StarKiller. StarKiller is just the front end GUI that makes it easier. It's kind of like if you want to think about it, the analogy is Metasploit and there it is. It's right there. It's Metasploit and Armitage. So Armitage is a GUI front end for it as well. So both of those are available on the newest distributions of Kali Linux. And I do believe actually that Empire is the same, that it is on the newest instances of Kali as well. I think there was a partnership between them and BC Security. So some uses. Red teaming, obviously. Offensive security. Red teams use this a lot. I've used it a couple of times, specifically Empire. I also use Covenant, and I've used Covenant in the past as well. Been on a team that's used Covenant as well. So, I mean, we can use it for that. Blue teaming, it's another way to do it is, again, to demonstrate weaknesses in current setup. I mean, blue teaming is a less used user case in this instance, but can still be used for that if you wanted to show that. And then if you were doing a kind of a hybrid model, you could have one side of your team do red teaming, one side of your team do blue teaming, and have a purple team engagement. So there's uses for that as well. And of course, just because it's there, bad guys use it. Bad guys always use it because, reasons. So any questions so far? Perfect. So I guess what we'll do is, I mean, if you guys are comfortable with it, I can just jump right into it. I mean, like I said, typically this demo takes, about 20, 30 minutes, but like I said, we're going to try to do it live. If not, I happen to just have some videos that I've made of it. So if it does decide to blow up on me, please do show me some grace in that. But let's just jump right into that one. So let me just go ahead. I'll kill this screen right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this one over. So this is kind of a 2 or 3 part setup here. So like I said, we're just going to run through like the entirety of the setup, like from beginning to end. and kind of how what that is and kind of how that is. So for kind of the setup that we're doing right now, we're going to be setting up Empire on the screen you see now, which is DigitalOcean. I have, and you'll see some other stuff. I've got another computer over here that we'll be doing some other stuff with, the StarKiller side of it, the GUI, but I'll share that screen when we come around to it. But if you, with anything, you can do this on AWS, you can do this on, like I said, I prefer DigitalOcean for this. Any hosting service, that you can get, you can use this on. So again, I simply prefer this because it's $40 a month for the type of servers that I want. So if there are no objections or questions, let's just go for it. See what happens, right? Just make sure I got my notes right here. Got my notes right there. Good. All right. So in this typical instance, if I was a bad guy and I had no skill whatsoever and couldn't automate any of this, I'd have to do this manually. This is kind of how this process would look. So for me, I want to create me a new droplet. And for the sake of this argument, we're just going to go to a general purpose machine. You know what? I like CPU optimized because we're going to be doing some hard stuff on this one. So I don't really need general purpose, but again, I get $40 a month for that. It's nothing. It's a bit because of all the stuff I'm about to steal. This is good stuff. So we want Ubuntu, however you pronounce that. I say Ubuntu because whatever. And then if I wanted to add some storage, I could do that. But again, for the sake of this purpose, we're not going to really worry about that. Data center, we're going to choose New York 3 because that works best for me in this instance. And so we're going to come down here. Now, you can do this. You can do authentication two ways. The recommended way is to do SSH keys, but in a pinch for what we're doing right now, I'm just going to do a password. I'll give anyone $1 if they can guess the password I'm about to type in. Literally, I will actually, you know what? I'll Venmo you $5 if you can guess it. So,
Oh, loss.
Nope, that's one guess.
Password.
Nope, it won't let me do that. I've already tried. Trust me. It's not gonna. Oh, it's not gonna do that. Oh, dang it. Okay, so all right. So, but I will say password was close.
1, 2, 3.
Nope, it won't let me end it on a. It won't let me end it on a number or a letter, and it won't. And I can't be capitalized. Any other guesses? There it is. There's my password right there. So now on the screen, you can see where I've created one droplet, named it Empire. I've attached it to my project. We're going to go ahead and create that droplet, and we're going to get a nice little password. So I don't want to necessarily do anything with that right now. So it's spinning up right now. We're going to let it finish spinning up. Like I said, we're going to do this live, like Bill O'Reilly. We're just going to do it live. Do it live. All right. And so there's my password, or there's my IP address. I'm going to launch a console. So for the astute in the group, if you guys want to, you can probably actually already get to this and probably log into it. Probably, I don't know. So let's see. And then all right. So now that we're into that, so you can't see what I just did, can you? This is why I have this screen over here. So I've launched up a console. I spun up a console real quick with an SSH into my Empire machine that we've just set up right here. And I went ahead and SSH'd into it. So if anyone, like I said, you had the password. So I mean, if you wanted to, you could do that. But just full disclosure, after this is going to be torn down. So so in this instance, what we're going to do is, like I said, on BC security, and let me just pull that up real quick. BC security. So like I mentioned earlier, BC has their GitHub, which is where we'll be pulling StarKiller and Empire from. So what we'll do first is we'll go ahead and use some wget magic. Actually, where's my console here? I had a console, where to go? Ah, there it is. Sorry about that, guys. So we're going to use some wget magic and get clone. So, and what I'll do after this is I'll also post a link to kind of the guide that I initially followed to do this, but at the same time, just give you kind of the high level TLDRs for if you're just trying to, like, you could do everything I'm about to show you. You could script it all together and create the same scenario. But for this instance, I can show you what I can send you the link or link it there too. So we're gonna do first things first. We're gonna get that down, and we're just gonna jump into that Empire folder. We're gonna just kick off a sudo, and next thing we're doing is we're just gonna run this Empire. But if you just did a straight ls into it, or we could do an ls tac a if you really wanted to. Oh, good Lord. There we go. You can see the files that are in this, but really what we want to do is we want to do a setup on this one. So let's see, where's my setup? There it is. So what we'll do is we'll just grab that. We'll just do a sudo setup install sh, see what happens. So now what it's doing, this setup file, this particular setup file has a sudo, has an apt update and an apt upgrade in it. So it may take a minute or two, but again, we'll do it live because, I like to show when I do these things sometimes how we fail too, because failing also helps out quite a bit in learning how to do this kind of stuff, especially with errors. So like I said, this may take a second, but while we're waiting, I'm gonna have me a drink. So I know Angel's Envy is one person. Anybody else? What's anybody else having? Because again, I like Miller Lite, or I call them Martin Luther's. All right, so it's just unpacking a few other things. And just to verify, everyone can see what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, just while we're waiting, was anyone else able to log in was anyone else able to SSH into this box? Guess I didn't have my password up long enough, so that's good for me. All right, perfect. Good. So like I said, I've got my other screen up over here, and I'm watching what you're watching right now as well. So I can see what I've got going on this one screen. I've got this going on over here. So just double checks on everything. So all right. So it's checking everything. It actually looks like it's just blowing through some stuff. Oh, that's good. What was that? Oh, that was interesting. So I know this is not the sexiest or the most glamorous part of it, but again, this right here is where a lot of the rubber meets the road kind of stuff. This is the good stuff right here. So you'll actually learn a lot about network administration and just admin in general through the failures. And I think when I did this earlier, I had a failure, and you'll see it here in a second. Maybe. Oh, we might get lucky today. Okay. So last a couple of times that I've done this, where I was setting it up to make sure we're good, we would get failures specifically around some Python and M2 crypto, but it looks like we're gonna be good. So wow, that feels really good, doesn't it? That feels really good. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure we have pip installed. Perfect. And we just want to make sure that all of our requirements are met as well. It's just a double verification, specifically how I do it. I specifically like to make sure all my requirements are done. Could not open requirements. What am I missing? LS, where are my requirements? Nope. Okay, so it looks like that doesn't need that anymore. All right, so let's see what happens. So what this is doing, it's going to start Empire in a REST format, and we're going to use username OWASP OWASP. Pretty simple. Perfect. Look at that. All right. So what you're seeing right now is Empire, and let's scroll back up. I think. Hold on. It's not going to let me. That's funny. So what you saw earlier was Empire being kicked off on port 1337. So now that Empire is running, what we can do is I can actually, I'm going to drop share here on this one real quick. And I'm going to come over here and we'll start share on, I want to make sure I got nothing. Okay, start share on this one. All right, cool. Can you guys see my screen on this one?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So what's my, Okay, hold on, let me stop the share on that one. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up and I'm gonna come to screen share and I'm gonna screen share on this one. I'll minimize that. Perfect. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to download, because we've got Empire set up, we've got that started. Next thing we want to do is we want to set up StarKiller, which again is the front end GUI that makes things a little easier. Again, you don't necessarily need it, but for the instance of this, I just want to show how it works and make sure everyone understands it and just sees it. So first thing we're going to do is we got to download it. So we'll just download a fresh copy of it. Actually, Command Shift. Make that a little bigger. How about that? So we're going to Command Shift sudo wget, and it should, $25 if anyone can get that one. All right, so it didn't work necessarily on that one. I'm going to mess around with that too much because I've already got it already there. So what we'll do is I'm just going to fire it up. And of course, there's got to be a dot there, Josh. There's got to be a dot there. Okay. That's interesting. One moment. Where, oh, where did I? Okay. Face of full disclosure here. Let's come back over. I'll share my screen. So again, you learn more from failures, right? So what we're going to do is I am going to StarKiller BC security. Let's see, what version are they at? I think I might have messed up on that one specifically. What version are we at, guys? We are at wget. What is 124? Okay, so no, yeah, is that it? So BC security. Hold on. What is the? All right. What is my code? Let's see. StarKiller get. Yeah, that's what I did. Okay. Well, that's fine. download. Hold on. So I need the releases of this. Releases, there we go. So release page, 170, there we go. So what we're gonna we're gonna hide that, bring this back up. Just realized what I was doing. I'm trying to do it on my Mac terminal right now when I should be doing it on this lovely terminal that I have right here, my Kali Linux box. Guys, I'm sorry. That's why we do that. That's why the presentation gods are not on my side right now. So, all right. Let that pop up real quick. All right. So for this instance, we've already downloaded it, and we're going to go ahead and just kick it off. Let that fire up. Now, if you remember the Empire C2 we just set up it up for the IP was, let's see, I think it's HTTPS. We'll check here in a second. It's 165.227.105.1. And if I remember correctly, it was OWASP. Now let's see if that works. Nope. Let's try an HTTP. Nope. All right, so that's good. So what did we do wrong? Let's get back over here, pull up my console real quick. Okay. Let's see, 165.227.105.1. Might help if I put in the port. No. OWASP. Let me come back over here, Control C. Let's kick that down again. Let's see, rest, OWASP. Fire that up. Welcome to Empire, yes. Okay. All right, so I'm actually gonna drop this. I'm gonna actually share this screen again because I want you guys to see that. Yes. So I might actually want you guys to see specifically what we're doing over here on desktop too. And we're sharing. So as soon as I made the connection from my original machine, this machine over here, to this machine right here, let's make sure I can see what's going on right here. Minimize that because I'll come back. You can actually see where I get post connections back from my machine here. So I'm talking to my machine from my GUI, and now I've got this. Does that make sense? Cool. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back over here and we're gonna share screen. I'm gonna drop that one. Perfect. So you should, let me minimize that because you don't want to keep seeing my ugly mug there. I'll hide this. And we'll bring this up. All right. So what we have now is we have the two things we have set up. We have the Empire running on a DigitalOcean through an HTTPS. We have it listening for connections out on port 1337 on that IP. Now we also have StarKiller set up over here, which you can see on the screen right now. And what we need to do is we need to build either a listener or we need to build something else. We need to build a couple things. So we need to build some listeners, and we need to build, oh Lord, and some packages. Oh my modules, Lord Jesus, here we go. Okay, perfect. So in this instance, just for the sake of this and making it kind of easy, we're just going to build a couple of the real easy ones real quick. We're just going to build, let's see. We could build an interpreter, but we could also build just an HTTP. That's pretty straightforward, specifically because You know, doesn't need to be super complex. It just needs to look good. It just needs to get the job done for right now. And a couple of considerations is that the VM that I'm going to show this on here in a minute is a Windows 7 machine, or no, it's Windows 10 machine. And I've gone out of my way to make sure everything's disabled. So this is a very clunky way to do this. You know, if we were trying to be very stealthy and very malicious and trying to actually break stuff, we would do this in a different way. But for the sake of showing it to y'all, we're going to do it this way. So go ahead and submit that. I think submit port. What port do we want to listen on? It seems like a good port. What do you think? I feel like Bob Ross creating this stuff. All right, so I'm going to just jump back over and show you the screen over here. And we're going to do, let's see, where are we? So can you see? I think you can. Let's see. Yes. So when we created that, this listener started in here. Now, again, because we're doing this in a GUI and not over on this screen, you know, you can do everything I've just done in that if you're more comfortable with that. Again, I can do it either way. For the sake of the GUI, we're doing it this way, but you can actually see where the listener is actually started, and it's listening on port 8080. So now what we're going to do is we'll come back over here, and we're going to continue on that. And we're going to share that screen. Get rid of that because you don't want to see me. All right. So now we got that created. We need to create a stager. Let's generate a stager. So in this, we want to create, and I really don't know what I want to create today. Oh man. Let's go Windows. Windows what? What do I want to create? You know what? I think I'll be forgiven for doing a batch file. So when we're doing this, you have to create the listener first so you can build the stager. And the stager is what is eventually going to, the stager is eventually what's going to be what you eventually either send to or booby trap something else for. So for what we're going to do here is we're going to go for our listener here. Where's our listener? What do we name it? HTTP. Okay. Let's see, Windows. And you have a full, as you guys can see, you have a full range of things you can use if you were really feeling, really feeling adventurous. And specifically within this, you can also create, you can do a lot. This GUI has a lot of power behind it in terms of what you can and can't do and how you want to obfuscate. If you're really trying to do, specifically in some of the instances that I've worked with, in the past, we're trying to obfuscate. We're trying to make sure that these devices, these payloads and these stagers aren't caught by, next gen AV. So in this is where it's really going to get nitty gritty to where you can absolutely, get something to stop and do its thing and just absolutely blow past, most AV. So now, listener agents, I don't think we got any of those. No, we do not. So let's create some modules. Let's see. I want to see a module. Let's see, keylogger. I like keylogging because why not, right? Let's see. So if you have other like little devices that you have, like, you can see where it says wiretap and all that. So Hack5 works really well. Like the Hack5 family of tools work really well here. So if you have something like that, you can definitely create something like that. I'm actually going to create another stager because I do want to show you guys that. So if I come over here and go keylogger, actually, what am I doing? Windows. Oh, ooh, wow. / keylogger. Wow, where is my keylogger at today? Ah, I see how I'm going to do this. It's going to make me do it like that. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. No, really? Wow, that's unfortunate. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to come over here and we're going to drop some stagers. So I actually want to download this stager. I'm going to save it here. Okay, so if I come over here, I should be able to find my stager where I downloaded it. Nope. Where am I going to? I'm actually going to just drop this on the desktop. Nope, I'm going to put it here. So I'll go ahead and drop here. Should be able to see it here. Where are you? Thought I dropped it on my screen there. Let's try again. All right, so it should be on my desktop here now. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop it into here. Hopefully it should be on my desktop now. There it is. All right, so now what we're going to do. So just for the sake of what I've just done is I've created a launcher file that I'm going to put onto my, actually, and I'll actually show you exactly what's happened while we're waiting. Is that you can see where I created these listeners. I created that new listener and now it's waiting and now it's spinning and waiting for me to come back in and actually do something with it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to airdrop that because I'm on Macs. Funny enough, I'm going to airdrop that launcher bat file over onto my machine that we've got right here that we're looking at right now. Hopefully it pops up. There it is. Let me move this out of the way. We're going to accept that. And it's going to go onto my desktop. All right, so let me come back over here, make sure what I'm viewing. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up my VM. I've got this Windows VM that I was talking about earlier. And you should be able to see that. So we're actually I think what we'll do is we'll try to show this happening simultaneously if we can. No guarantees, but we'll see. All right, so let's make this a little smaller. All right. So I've got my launcher right here, which I was able to successfully share from my machine that I built over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run it and we're going to see what happens. So this can either work or it's going to not work. So we'll see. And we're waiting. Yep. And that's why. That's why. So what we're going to do? Yeah, I know. Threat services stopped. Restart it now. Nope. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that at all. No. Okay. So maybe I can get it to run this way. Well, let's see if I can get it to run as an administrator. Okay, so looks like it might have run. No. Oh, Lord. Okay, so cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow it. So again, as you can see, I built this very clunky and very, very detectable. You can build these in a lot of different ways that are not as clunky and not as detectable. So let's see. So like I said, we're absolutely allowing this thing to just go for it right now and just run. So I'm gonna come back over here and see how my StarKiller is doing. Where are you, StarKiller? And if we did this right, should show up. So let's see. Nope. Let's run it again. See what happens. Okay. Okay, so well, there you go. So that's that's awesome. That is not working. So nope. All right. So that's how she rolls sometimes, but thankfully I came prepared. And what we're going to do, if you will permit me, what we're going to do is we're going to come into our Empire. I'm going to come into Empire real quick, and I'm going to just run through, see if I can find exactly what I'm looking for. All right. So if you'll permit me, here is what I was describing earlier. Let's move some stuff out of the way here. This is what I was talking about, where when you would run this, this script, and you would get an agent that would show up, what would happen is I would run a shell command that would do a keylogging, and I would get keylogging strokes. So if you watch on the right, you see typing out hello world, hello OWASP. And if you watch on the left, you can see actually where when I'm doing it, you get the hello world, hello OWASP spacebar kind of keylogging stuff. And that's typically what, you would expect in that scenario. So that's what I was trying to demonstrate on that end right there. But again, the presentation gods were okay with me for a few minutes, and they finally just said, no, we're not going to do that. So, hey, here we are on that. But as you can see and I'm just going to pause, I'm going to back that up because I want you to actually see, when you get an agent on it, you can actually get a lot of really good intel on what it is. Specifically, you can see, IP, you can get IP address, you can get MAC address, you can get a lot of really good intel on the internal network that you're sitting on at that moment. So that's one use case for Empire and StarKiller is, key logging. But again, you can do a lot more things. You can use it as an initial stager to launch other attacks to get deeper information. But again, this is just the beginning. And, and like this took me, what are we sitting at right here? I'm sitting at about 45 minutes. This took me 45 minutes. And again, a little upfront time, administrative costs, and then you're into someone's network, and you can leverage this type of attack, or specifically use case. You can leverage this in your own life, in your own work, if you're trying to demonstrate weaknesses. Again, I know we've got a lot of admins, and when it was me, myself, and I'm a consultant, but you can use this for administrative work to show, hey, we have a weakness here and we need to strengthen it, and here's why it's a weakness, because I can break it using this easily available tool. So that's kind of what I have on that. I know I kind of just blew right through all of that. Was there any questions about anything you just saw? Questions, concerns, cries of anguish, as it were? Okay. Again, I know that was, like I said, that was a pretty straightforward run through on it. Again, it's not super hard, super difficult to get that up and running. There's a lot of other modules. I can look at some other modules if you guys are interested. I mean, there's a lot of things you can look at if you're curious. So what I'm going to do is I may just jump back in there, and we can just look at what we have in there. So no, you don't want to see my face again. So here's my interpreter that I set up earlier. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with let me just, there's a guy years ago, he was called the Jester, and it was all on Twitter, but I think he was kind of a troll or anything, but one of his big things was he played Thunderstruck when he'd hack things. So that's some things you can do. You can do a lot of like fun little trolly things if you're trying to do something, but if you're trying to be like super, if you're trying to prove a point, or you're trying to, show weaknesses, there are some really good, let's pick this random one right here. You can dump, you can run Invade if you wanted to. You can run Invade, which is a great tool for gathering intel on a network. So that's kind of what I have, guys. I know that didn't take very long, but again, that's kind of the point in this. But does anyone have any questions or concerns? Anything you saw that you want me to go back over? Because again, I can do all of that. I'm here for a little bit, and just to talk and go over stuff.
Does this tool work against Macs?
It absolutely does. We do have, we can build stagers specifically around those. So if you go OSX, you can build a stager around that, and however you want to do it. Like shellcode's pretty easy. Like or not necessarily shellcode, but if you like did a, I'll just do an example right here. If I went to terminal and I said, say hello, and I didn't have a, that's funny. Why are you doing that? Oh, that's funny. Let's try that again. And you get the idea. So yes, it can work against Macs. Any other questions? Okay. Well, guys, I know there's only a few of us tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging in and hanging out with me, and having a few drinks with me, and going through some of that. What I'll do is I'll post this and all the other information that I've spoken about tonight. I'll post that up on YouTube here within the next 24 hours. If you have any questions specifically around this or anything else, I'm available on Twitter. I'm available for Meetup. Also, if you guys want to present anything, I'm open for call for presentations. So please feel free to come up and do that. Yeah, if you don't have any other questions, again, thanks for showing up tonight's meetup. It was great to have y'all. I'd like to see you all at the next one. I think what we'll do next time is I've got a couple of guys I'm going to try to see if I can get to speak, but it was great seeing you guys. If you have nothing else, please let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.